All right, 2014 Audi S6. This is how you get the starter in and out. So first you got to get the car into service mode, pulling the bumper off. I already had it all off because I was doing some other work. But you're going to want to take your alternator out, and there are cooling lines on there, so if you didn't already drain your coolant, you're going to have to. Then there's going to be a motor mount, a shield around the motor mount, and then there's a bracket that goes right there. Now, once you get all that off, back in here you'll see there's your starter. Now on the bottom, there's 2 bolts mounting the starter, one right there, and then the other one is right up here on the top. You can see the threads. Now that bolt comes in from the back side. But I'll show you what I mean here. Over here behind the wheel, you're gonna have this heat shield. Now, 2 bolts and a nut, and you can take off this heat shield and you can get an access point. And then this here is a cooler line for the transmission. And what I did is went ahead and took the bolt out of that to give myself a little bit more room to get in there. And then from there, you're gonna take an arrangement of extensions. Now I have a wobble with some tape on it just to give it a little bit more rigidity, but it can still flex. And then I've got a short wobble socket, and then I've got another short straight socket, and then a couple other ones. Now you're gonna want to just use kind of an arrangement of these to figure out what works best depending on how far in the bolt is. Now what you're gonna wanna do is come under the car, and right here, your exhaust, right between your exhaust and your transmission, you're gonna stick your socket all the way up through there and all your extensions. And then with your other hand, you're gonna reach up through here, and you're just gonna be able to get to that 12-point bolt just with your fingertips. You won't really be able to get it with your hand, but just your fingertips, and you should be able to guide that socket right on there. Now that bolt, like I said, it's a 12-point, so you're gonna need a socket like this. It's an 18mm 12-point socket. What makes my life a lot easier is a tool like this. One of these power ratchets that's got an extendable head, or not extendable, but it's an extended head on it. This makes your life much easier. You can use a regular ratchet. I was able to break mine loose with just a 3/8, but bust it loose with a ratchet and then use this tool, pull it out. I didn't even pull the bolt all the way out, just pulled it loose, and then you're able to get it out. Once you get the top and bottom ones off, obviously get all your other stuff off, and then you're good to go. Starter comes out pretty easy, goes back in pretty easy, but there is a lot of work to get to the starter. Anyways, hope that helps someone out there. I didn't see hardly any videos of anyone talking about this, so see you in the next one.